Hello, Linda.
Hi,
Welcome.
girlfriend.
Welcome to this time together. Thank you for being
I like
here.
your background too.
Oh, thank you. I'm always with the flowers.
Yeah, yeah.
I love.
It matches your pretty personality.
Oh, well.
What I actually need behind me is a diesel truck to match my foul mouth personality.
No. That reminds me of the flowers. There's a lot of hummingbirds. A lot of
I
hummingbirds.
have a lot in my front yard. I feed them.
Okay. What kind do you have?
I don't know. They got the red here.
Or maybe ruby-throated?
And
Okay.
when I go get them new feed, I give them the liquid. And when I come out and I hang it and it's quiet all around me and I'll go, and here they come.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I have some I have the black chinned in my yard.
Okay.
But I think we could have ruby throated. I just haven't seen them. Anyway, so I knew you fed them. So thank you for doing that. I think it's wonderful that we have two animal lovers here together. And it's so because I feel like they need our help. So thank you for doing it. They need us. All right. So I see you have something new back there.
Oh, yes. And some of you know who go on my channel. There's a link with a YouTube special that I've known was to be true about the Shroud and how they were able to 3D it. And now they've got this space stuff that they're able to tell you what the pollen was that was on the Shroud. And they're able to prove it, went to Jerusalem. The body in the Shroud was definitely scourged and beaten to death. This man went beyond pain as well as being crucified. So they were saying he fits the timing fits, he fits the Jesus. They said he didn't have a crown on his head. Someone took one of those bushes, the whole bush, and put it on his head. He had so many cuts on his head. Oh. And so they're talking about it and the dating, which, they had the wrong date before because they took a wrong piece of the Shroud. But he had 2 coins on his eyes, and the coins are right with the time in Jerusalem. So they're saying, we're pretty sure this is what and these are Jewish men talking about this. They said, here's the other fascinating thing. They said rigor mortis set in. And they can prove the 3rd day he was, because whatever this body was, and you will find no other image as the Shroud. They can't duplicate it. So it was like spontaneous, almost like Star Trek beaming him up. Whatever this body wasn't laying flat with the Shroud on him. He was rising.
Wow.
And they said his knees were bent. His knees were bent because rigor mortis had set in. His jaw was very clutched because rigor mortis had set in. And they also said his belly was starting to expand. Which is part of that it was rigor mortis. So they said scientifically they can prove that this man rose the 3rd day. Wow. But he took the pictures that he got from the scanning, the 3D scans, and you can buy these. I can link it if you guys want to know. This one I picked because this is the Jesus I saw.
Oh, wow.
And it says, I am the way. And I'll tell you, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies because this is the Jesus I saw. I didn't see a head of curly black hair. His hair was about this color. It wasn't black. And he even kind of made his eyes sort of hazel looking. So, Mediterranean, yes. Gorgeous, yes. He could have been a rock star, in our day. Could be why we all fell in love. Well, I'm older than you, but you know how I always fell in love with the rock with the long hair. And I love this one. It's the same person, but it's Jesus praying.
Okay, beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And as you're saying that, I'm getting the chills again. I mean, wow. I know. Oh, thank you.
I was very happy to get this. And I could probably, if I want to spend a lot of money, get a nice big one to hang. I tell you, this is just beautiful. I'm not disappointed. Oh, I'll probably get this framed. But yeah, this is it. This is beautiful.
Well, that reminds me, like Easter, right? We just had Easter and how wonderful, because he's a master of love. And I remember the one time I saw him on Easter Day, giving out love so big. It was
That's all it's about.
Magnificent. And I don't know if you know the story, but I have seen him objectively as well in a healing situation,
Yeah.
popping up. He and Mary together. And, Mary has told me she's a healer too, because
Okay.
Jesus gets the credit a lot,
Well, yeah, Constantine, when they rewrote the Bible, they made Mary out to be a hooker,
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about Mary. Oh, I'm talking about Mother Mary.
Oh, Mother Mary. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I used to have a connection with her years ago.
Yes. So, well, thank you for sharing that. And I'll just share this other little one that I have. I just got this at a new age bookstore, and I think I paid it maybe $5 for it.
It's wonderful. Wonderful.
But it reminds me, his meditation. And I think that kind of reminds me of what we want to talk about a little bit today. Because you had mentioned, I love this idea, Linda, to talk about how do people know their soul purpose.
Yes.
So,
And let me tell you, when you're doing your soul purpose, you know it.
Well, yeah,
I
because
didn't know I'd be doing this. I thought I'd be an actress or a good nurse and retired and, went traveling. I didn't know that I was going to be doing this. You couldn't have paid me to believe it. But with the reading, and it's not even about how many people like you, it's so healing. And it's beautiful, because the other day I read this guy and I saw his mother, and his mother's talking to him, and she kept showing me white gloves. I'm like, white gloves? Well, your mom's showing me white gloves. And, she was kind of in the time of women used to wear gloves when they went out. And he said he had no recall of any white gloves. So I said, okay, well, think about it. He wrote me not even 2 hours later. He said he talked to his sister, and she said, don't you remember? Mom used to put Vaseline on her hands and put white gloves on. So I always have to trust what they have to say.
Oh, yes. Right. But, I think one of the things for you, which is not like most people, is that you heard your guides tell you, right?
Not everybody gets that.
That's right.
Because I literally hear a voice as if someone's standing next to me talking in my ear, but I hear it inside my head.
Okay. I see. I don't get that. I feel more. I do
Okay.
sometimes get words. The other day,
I can feel things too. But they will catch me because it's a male energy. And
Yeah.
like when I was begging for my life, he said, what are you doing? There's no such thing as death. Sort of scolding me, and he's powerful. And I felt, yes, okay, yeah, you're right. There is no such thing as death. And I felt very embarrassed and hand my life over. Into thy hands I commence my spirit. And that's where I started traveling on this road. What you have to do your life purpose is you have to be able to hand your life over.
Yeah. Surrender.
Some people just can't surrender.
Yes.
We're too busy. Oh, well, what happens next? What do I do next? Blah, blah, blah. And I understand worry, because, I'm human too. I go through worry, but I just went through something personal in my life, and why I couldn't read with you yesterday. And boy, oh boy, was that the test. And I knew what they were doing. I said, okay, I surrender. I hand it to you. You tell me what to do.
Wow.
And it worked out beautifully.
Yes, I love that idea. And I say, guide me, lead me, be with me. Guide me, lead me, be with me, coming from the heart. But, some people have a hard time still trusting themselves.
Yeah, but that's, that's human nature. That's even damaged when you were a child.
Yes.
Right. Like I tell the story, I had a father who used to beat me. And how do you trust someone who's supposed to love you that physically abuses you?
Yeah, right.
You lose that ability.
That's right. So, especially with men, right?
Yes. Yeah. Somebody on Twitter today said that, okay, there's only a couple of things men can do when I take out my own garbage. But we can't be men angry either.
I know. I used to be mad at my mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I actually love men. I really adore men. And then I had 2 sons. I'll be honest with you. I begged for a girl when my baby girl was born because I was scared to death to have boys.
Yeah.
But I ended up with 2 of the sweetest boys as well as my girl. But, I enjoy having a son. And now I can look at other men kind of based on my sons, understanding that they were children too. And how much boys need love and security.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I think they even need it more than women.
I think so too.
They
I think
seem to
so
be,
too.
like
Because I
when you,
managed to get the ones that are hanging on me. I'm like,
yeah, the clingy
oh,
kind.
I can't do it. Like some people, they go do the grocery shopping with the husband. He goes to the dinner. I see cute little couples, and it's like, that'll never be me.
That's how I feel.
I like to do my shopping by myself. I don't want anybody saying, why are you buying that? Oh, hell no.
Yeah, yeah. I met a guy at the park. This is so funny this morning. I was walking my dog, throwing my golden retriever, throwing the ball, and this man, I saw him and he was looking at me, said, hi, what, wave, wave, wave. And then I see him as I'm coming back, there he is again, wave, wave, wave. And he said, hey, don't you live around the corner? I said, no, I don't. We were yelling at each other. Don't you live in, I said, no. He said, yeah, but my daughter tried to set us up once. And I'm like, how did he even know it was me?
Did someone try to set you up?
Yeah. Yeah. She said, well, why don't you meet my dad? Like, okay. Like I'm old enough to meet your dad, right? No, of course I am, but I don't want to admit that.
Right. And did you like him?
No, I never went. I made him. I thought that was too weird. I didn't want to go meet somebody, even though it was a nice restaurant and everything. I just didn't. I felt weird. But now we probably are going to meet. He actually looks kind of fun.
Yeah, I feel like you should do it. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah. So I'm going
to. This is a time of love coming in here, by the way. A lot of people write me and they're so lonely and stuff. But remember, loneliness is human based.
Right.
Because your connection with the God force will fill you. Girl, I'm so full with love sometimes. And I don't ever crave connection. I know that's probably not good because the part of this world and living in this lifetime is that connection with others. It's all about love. But I see how when I was younger, it was only about that. So I always wanted, if I was alone on a Friday night, something was wrong.
See, I've always been a little bit of a loner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even in high school, I would come home and I would do my sewing or my artwork, and I couldn't wait to just be at home alone for a little bit before I went back to school. I know I've always been that way.
That's interesting.
So, yeah.
For me, it was all about social.
Okay.
I had lots of girlfriends.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, I have a few. See, I've never had like I've always had just a few. But I want to now see people back to the life purpose. That reminds me, when you're a kid, you usually have a passion. When you're 5 years old, what did you want to be a nurse? That's that life purpose. I think when people know, am I on my path? You look back, what did you want to do when you were a kid?
Well, I was always talking to the angels around me. I probably thought I was psychotic. And I would dance. My parents had a patio in the backyard that had sort of like a stage looking thing. It was multicolored. It was very pretty. I used to dance. I used to be out there dancing all the time.
Oh.
I wanted to be a dancer. I wanted to dance for God. And I always wanted to be married with kids.
Yeah.
When I played army with the neighbor boys, I was always the general's wife, and I dragged along my dolls as our kids. And get mad at him because he didn't come home for supper. I played roles, I was like on La La Land.
Wow. So you were back with the angels, and that what everybody can probably take from that story is that what you did as a kid, whether it's art or dance, you can bring that back into your life because that's always part of your soul purpose. When you're younger, you're connected more, I think.
Yeah. I was never an artist as far as drawings or anything.
Yeah.
But I love dance. I love ballet.
I do too. I love dance too. I can dance by myself just fine.
Me too. Me too. Although I do it less frequently with my boys are around because they're like so embarrassed. Because if I hear good music, I want to get up and dance.
Yeah, me too. I know. I even dance in the grocery store.
Yeah. My ex-husband's, the first one even, I remember I put on some Neil Young or some Doobie Brothers back in the day, and we'd be dancing just by ourselves. My sister always liked to have parties at my house, and we had all this great, we used to love music and dancing.
Yeah, I do too. I love music too.
I think dancing is expression of the soul too.
It is. Because see, also you're moving your energy, because if we are all total energy, you're activating all your energy systems. You're activating your chakras, you're activating your radiant circuits, you're moving energy. And
Yes.
music is a portal, I believe, to the divine.
Yeah.
It's a direct, music is a direct connection to the divine.
And it makes your heart feel, it makes your connection with the life force. Cause like I tell people, when you're connected, because you'll get that beautiful feeling when you see a beautiful vista
Yeah,
and you feel that connection to everything in that moment. It's that aha moment. That's your connection to the realm.
that's right.
Sometimes it's hard to keep it up and keep it on you 24/7.
Well, yeah, I
Life,
mean,
life happens. Our key is to be able to go through life happens and still manage to hand it over every time and say, you know what, take this cup away from me because I don't want to drink its poison. And they always answer for me, but it's taken a while.
yeah. Well, it takes practice. And I think that's why we're here. We're practicing to be better.
Exactly.
We're learning. Every day is a
Exactly.
practice.
Right. How'd you do in school?
High school, not too good. I did go to college. I did okay. I did fine. And I did go to nursing school. I got into nursing school and now only 1 out of 10 got in. So,
Right.
that was pretty good. I was so excited about that because when I first started college, I was on probation because my grades were not so good in high school.
Right.
They said, okay.
I didn't do too good in school, except my last 2 years. In high school, sometimes you can breeze right through and get straight A's, bring that GPA up. And then I went to a junior college.
Okay.
And yeah. And the fact that I waited till I was almost 30 to become a nurse. So.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I was 31.
Okay.
Yeah. When I went to nursing school. But I had gone to school before and then I was like, okay, now your grades aren't good enough. We got to put you on probation.
Pharmacology was I didn't know if I was going to get it and I finally got it.
Now, that some people say, well, let's say they've had a spiritual awakening, in the last 2 years or 3, all the people that are like, whoa, hey, what's going on? I've wasted my life now. I know this now. And I feel like I've wasted my life.
Yeah.
Right. But I think that everything we do, all of our life is in service.
Right. Exactly.
Even being a mom, that's like, if we're holding space for others to grow and flourish, that is in service.
Right. Exactly.
And it's like being an angel on earth to be a mom, right? Or a dad.
Oh, talk about unconditional love. Have a child.
Yes.
Not that people can't have unconditional love without children.
Right.
Sometimes unconditional love comes through an animal.
Oh, of course.
Like my 2 love bugs who sit here and stare at me 24/7.
Me too. I've got one of those. I've only got one.
Oh, so you have a golden retriever.
I do.
And are they needy, the golden retriever?
She is. This is my second one. My first one was not needy, but this one is.
Was it the first one a female?
Yeah. But I got her when she was 7. She was a rescue. And but she was an angel. She was an angel dog. Oh my gosh. And she hung in there till almost 14 years old.
Wow.
That's pretty old for a golden retriever.
Yeah. So this one, the new one, how old was that one?
Oh, I got her when she was like 9 weeks old.
Oh,
she's 2.5 now, but she's a mess.
My friend Dan, I believe he's got a golden retriever. That dog runs him. That dog makes him walk all the time in the freezing snow. That dog doesn't care.
Yeah.
And the dog is very, very needy.
Yeah. This
so
one.
Are mine. My dogs are phobic about playing with the ball.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's obsessed. The ball. Yeah. I can't do anything till I, take her out to play ball.
Yeah.
And I've never had a dog like that before. That was so obsessed.
So needy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then plus when she sleeps now, and I don't know how I could ever have a man in my life because I've got her.
She sleeps on the bed?
Yeah. And then as close as possible. And I have to push her over,
I'm telling you, my dogs too. They just think that, well, the one doesn't. The one sleeps down below, but the other one, Jack, he's just like so overwhelmingly needy.
Yeah. Okay. So what is there anything else you want to say about this? How do we know? How do people know when they're following their soul path? I want to just maybe add in, they have to trust their intuition.
Absolutely. And there's a feeling of that omnipresent energy. Just makes you know the feeling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like when I was a nurse, I got a lot of joy out of it.
Yeah.
And I always made sure that I treated my patients like I would my own family laying in that bed.
Yeah.
You know? And they worked you to the bone. But
Yeah.
I did it. I stopped and I'd say, just breathe and know that, you know, because you don't want to miss anything. You don't want to be so overwhelmed that you're just kind of like, yeah, I got to move to the next patient. Because I worked at ER and L&D, and those were every 15-minute checks.
Oh, wow.
So you're moving the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. So my experience has been very different with nursing. Sorry, there's a garbage cart going right by.
That's okay.
If you hear the noise. Yeah, because I'm in somebody's home.
Okay.
For an hour. So I have, about an hour.
That's not too bad. That's less stressful.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe so. I do. I think so. Yeah. It's much more, it's easier to connect with spirit that way. Right.
When I first started off, I did some hospice, with
okay.
one-on-one. Yeah. And it's still sad with death though.
Oh, it's sad, you think?
It's still tough.
Okay.
Trying to touch, you can't go in and say, oh, well, really, he's not dead.
Yeah.
It's not, you got to let them do their mourning. It's absolutely necessary.
Yes. You have to be where they are.
Yeah.
You have to meet them where they are. You can't change them. You can't, just like people that we do readings for or whatever, or the community, you be where they are. And then hopefully maybe something you say will be a seed to other things.
Right. Exactly.
And even what we're talking about, knowing what's our soul path, we can tell somebody this is how you do it, but until they actually experience it, it's not going to sink in.
Right. Exactly. I'm excited about this date you're going to go on.
Really?
You must tell me.
Okay. Because
I think he liked what he saw too.
Oh, good. Well, I was like, how did he come back at the same place? Because I was on the trail kind of, and he was on the road. And I'm thinking, did he follow me or what?
I think he followed you.
He must have. And there he was again when I came back. And then we were talking. He said, well, what about now? Do you have time to go out now? And I'm like, no, I don't have time now.
No. Was it romantic? Like you were picking up the dog's poop?
Yeah, there's that. And
hold on, let me grab this big one.
I know. I was thinking that too. I thought, oh God, yeah, because I did have to go.
So you guys going out and meeting or coffee or?
Oh, well, I don't know yet because we haven't set it up yet. But I said, well, I could go out. I'm available Friday or Saturday.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, we'll see. But it's funny because the lady who, his daughter knows my son. My son has been over at her house and everything. And I don't know. I just imagine it as it being, I'm sorry, OLD and FAT. And he wasn't.
Okay. Hey, listen, I had a client the other day. He's a love bug. He's about 30, I guess. I said, how did you find me? And he said, well, I have YouTube and I kept getting this old lady kept coming up on my page. And I said, oh, that was me. He said, yeah. And I thought, why the hell does this old lady keep coming up on my thing? So I decided to listen to you. I've been hooked ever since. But God bless him, because everybody is so kind. They always say, oh, Linda, you look much younger than your age and this and that. No, he called me an old lady. I loved it. But now that guy's telling the truth. Who's this old hag showing up on my page?
Now I know, because I heard you say this. You're 69. What month is your birthday?
September. I turned 69 this September, but I'll be 70 next year.
Yeah.
So I'm not reading right now. I shouldn't say I retire. I'm taking a break out of it because it does take up your energy and you really do feel it as you're getting older.
Yes, I know. I need naps nowadays because I'm 62. I'll be 63 in about 3 months.
You look great, girlfriend.
63. Well, it's the I put onion skin on the video cover.
Remember those close-ups? Every actress back in the day. Do you remember how Barbara Walters always had the fuzzy skin? Rona Barrett. They always you thought your eyes needed adjusting. I heard Barbara Walters has Alzheimer's. Did you hear that?
Oh, I didn't know that. Really?
Such a
Oh,
horrible disease. I'll be
it,
looking for it to go away.
uh, gosh, I know. Because yeah, you and I both have seen it a lot. I've seen it a lot.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
brother-in-law died from it, but he was only 55, 56 when he died.
Whoa, that is young.
He was young.
Yeah. One of the things I enjoy though about those patients or people is that they are very connected to spirit.
Yes, they are, huh?
Yeah. And I always believe everything they say. You know, when they say, oh, my brother came to visit or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
Of
yeah.
course
Or
he
even
did.
dying patients I've had. When
Oh,
they
yeah.
say mother just left, I believe them.
Oh,
I had
Oh,
this patient, he was only 56. And I think I was 30. And he was dying of lung cancer. He was so skinny and his watch was hanging off him. And he used to say, mother, cocktail time, mother. His wife would bring a cocktail. He couldn't drink it. But he wished he could have a cigarette, but he couldn't because they were all chain smokers. But he'd sit and talk to me, his adventures in the Orient, and just a smart guy. And his death was tough. But at one point, I had to go get his medication, which was in a refrigerator, because we were doing not PRN, we were doing
scheduled.
Q6. Give him his medicine. Do not at will or whenever you give it to him, because if it lingers, he'll wake up in pain.
Yeah.
So I went down, and when I was sitting there, I could see light energy moving around him, and they weren't paying any attention to me. I could hear whispering and talking.
Wow.
And I could see light energy flying around him. And I remember just the hair on my arms. And I thought, oh, good, I have to go get the medicine. So I'd go, while I'm heading down this long hallway to the refrigerator, I could hear them chattering.
Wow.
I grab the medicine and I come back in, and they're not paying attention to me. They're just going around him. And then I sit down and I'm like probably staring at him, and he opened his eyes and he looks at me like that. It scared the bejesus out of me.
Because he was busy with other world.
He woke right up and he said, yeah, mother was just here.
Oh, wow.
I thought, yeah, I believe it, because you had all kinds of peoples up in here.
Nice. It's wonderful that you can hear them. See, I usually see them.
I couldn't understand what they were saying. I could hear the chatter, but I couldn't make it out. You know how some people have haunted houses, maybe from the 1920s, and all of a sudden they'll hear the tinkling of the glasses and the chatter, but they can never make out. That's what it was.
Yeah, nice. Oh, wow. I love the lights. Yeah, because I've seen the lights too coming around people, just sparkles. And I had one of my patients, she took a picture of somebody who had her husband who had just passed. And they wanted to take a picture of it. She just had their hands like this. And so she wanted to take a picture of their hands while he had just passed, right? But she got on the photo. She didn't see it with her eyes, but on the picture and her phone, she saw two white spirits over him.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah. She said to me, what, do you think something's wrong with my camera? And I said, no. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I know. And I thought it was like his spirit and another spirit, coming together to take him off. I mean, it's hard to know for sure, but that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, there's a show called Paranormal on Camera or something like that, paranormal something, but it's a good show. They actually showed a little fawn that had been hit by a car, and it's struggling to walk. And this woman's front camera of her house caught it, and then the fawn collapsed, and you could see the fawn's energy come out of the body in a shape of a fawn and start to move forward.
Oh, how beautiful.
So I said, oh yeah, this is real. And I remember one time I had a cancer patient. She'd gotten out of a long surgery and she was on O2, and I went to adjust her, to change her position. And I said, hello, Mrs. So, and she was smiling. Hi, how are you? She said, she's fine. I said, I'm just going to turn you a little bit towards me, just to get you off your back.
Yeah.
And I leaned over her, and as I'm moving her towards me, I could feel her go right through me. I said,
Uh-huh.
she died. And sure enough, she was dead.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes those last position changes are just like, I just can't do it any longer. I'm gonna leave. You just changed me, I'm leaving.
Yeah, when I worked at a hospital in Southern California through the registry, midnight shifts, we would bathe and weigh each patient. We must have had 4 or 5 coats of putting them on the weigher and lifting them up.
Wow, yeah.
They were coding left and right. I
Yeah.
never was so busy in my life.
Oh, well. Uh-huh. It's just that last, like, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
This
just,
was I think this was the unit. I think we had 8 patients in the unit.
wow, wow. Well, okay. So what else you want, anything else you want to say or talk about, or anything else going on fun in your life? It's only
It's
Wednesday.
all in the living. Listen, even though they're in paradise, a lot of them have told me they'd give anything to just be connected in the earth realm just for one more minute.
Oh,
Because we, even as much as we hate it, they know in this realm we have every opportunity to take away old karma, that we get to literally feel more. It's beautiful over there. They're encompassed in love. But if they could just burn off some of that karma on the life end, because sometimes us humans don't get it. We just don't get it. And you know how how the Catholic Church has you do confession?
yeah.
I used to think, what a scam that is.
Right, right. How much money are they paying?
Yeah, what's going on? But on the other side, there really is something to doing confession. If you, doesn't have to be with a priest, if you look at your troubles and ask for forgiveness and honestly mean it, you can, in karma in this lifetime, let's say you really see what you've done. A lot of people don't want to know, but you realize, like Al-Anon's or AA, they say, go to the people you hurt and apologize.
Yeah.
That works. I'm telling you right now. If the person's not going to accept the apology, that's up to them, but it works.
Wow. Awesome. I also think when we heal here, we also heal our ancestors.
Oh, you do?
No, well, because when we are like as mediums and we are connecting, let's say a father who is an alcoholic, for instance, and then if the person here on earth says, okay, I forgive you, to me,
Oh, yes.
that causes the
Yes.
healing on the other side. And then it goes on and on, like up the levels.
Like when I talk about my dad, I almost talk about it like I'm an outsider looking in. I have no more feeling on it. Not that I don't have feeling for him. I have no feeling about the pain because I've dropped it.
Yeah.
And I've also forgiven him. I can tell you the story so you get a little bit more idea. Because some people I can say, hey, I walked your path, because they have very abusive parents,
Yep.
I walked your path. But the only way to survive this is for you to forgive them. Give them no more power over you.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do on this earth is to give someone power over you.
Yeah.
Or you think you're in charge of it, even like some people do with their own children. We get these IDs on our head. I'm a mother, you're a mother, he's a husband, and you think you're supposed to follow a certain path, and that's not how it goes. It's not up when your children are adults, it's up to them. They have free will. And some of us think we're so worried about them that we think, well, I'll lead them this way, I'll tell them. And of course they love the words of the grandparents and the elders, but you gotta give them, you gotta cut it loose, you gotta let them go. So by, like this one woman I read, she was in a relationship now, 12 years, wonderful guy, no complaints, salt of the earth. How come you guys haven't, made it a thing? Well, 12 years ago, I got hurt by somebody really bad. I've never quite tried. I said, oh, so you're still giving him the power then? He still has reign over you.
Yeah, brilliant.
No more. Take this cup. I cannot drink his poison. Give them no more power over any abusiveness. They don't know what they do. Wrap them in the light and send them to heaven.
Yes, thank you. That's wonderful, Linda. That reminds me too, when we focus on the negative in the world, we don't want to give that power. We got to focus on the light.
Exactly. Well, that's like when my guide stopped me in midstream because, I was talking about orange crush head.
Yeah.
And we were all phobic and angry and like, how could he say that? And how can he do this? And like I said, shh. I said, what? You got to knock that off, Linda. I said, what do you mean? Being in angst and talking trash about Donald Trump is not helping anybody. It's not hurting him. You tell everybody that we don't have to forgive, but you can just send him away. Give him no more power over you.
Right.
Don't let him create unwellness inside your body.
Yeah.
And then, and releasing him, let the universe take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a lot of bad, nasty email. How could you tell me to forgive? I'm not asking you to forgive. I'm just telling you, don't allow him to rain on your parade.
Yes. Yes. And it even makes more and more sense when you put it all together, right?
Right.
Focus on the positive, stay with the light. I remember when this is when my son was about 3, which would have been about 17 years ago. I was lying in bed with him, and these 2 beings came, or no, 1 being, I'm sorry, or there might have been 2. Anyway, a white being, entity came and right next to me and showed me that in the future, and I didn't know how far in the future, but I just said there's going to be a light and a dark showing up in the world. And
How long ago was this?
This is like 17 years ago. And then they said, and I'm getting the chills now. You must still be here right now. Ooh.
Oh, I love it.
I know. And he showed me the light and the dark. And he said, make sure you stay in the light. Every little thing matters. Whether it's you walked on your neighbor's yard when you weren't supposed to, or something, every little thing, stay in the light. And it was, I've never left that. It's never left me.
Beautiful.
And it was just, they were just showing me the white people and the dark. It was like, whoa. And I think this is the time. This is the era.
I think this is it. Isn't it interesting? You started, expanding yourself to others around this time of mankind.
Yeah.
Dealing with Trump and Putin and ugly.
I know. And, the other day, yesterday, I think it was, and Mother Mary, I kind of connect with Mother Mary, and I write down after my meditation. I have to meditate. If I don't meditate, it's like, it's like I haven't had my coffee kind of thing,
Okay.
And so anyway, after my meditation, I was connecting with her, and she's just talking about Zelensky and Biden, which is unusual. She almost never talks about that. But what she explained so clear to me, both of these, they have a portal. It's bigger than the average person. Their portal to the divine goes way high. And I felt like really it's connected with other dimensions, other realities besides Earth reality. And it's way high and huge. And that's one of the reasons, and I can even see it now. I actually see, as we're talking, I see Archangel Michael right by Zelensky. And they both have it. And she also gave me the impression that Zelensky, and I haven't been watching the news lately, so I don't know,
right,
that he's been in negotiation, or people are trying to get him to do something that he doesn't want to do.
I wonder what it is.
And he does, I don't know, but I felt like it had to do with NATO. So I'm not sure what this is, but and he's not happy about it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but they also told me that he's an empath, or she told me he's an empath, and he doesn't like killing at all. He doesn't like to have to kill Russian. He's an empath. This bothers him a lot.
Yeah, well, he told them, don't give me a way out. Send me, tanks and whatever I need.
Yeah.
He was a comedian. He was president, and he loves that Ukraine so much, he's willing to sacrifice his own life.
Yes.
Now that's connection to the power that be. And Biden, believe it or not, I knew it was an older man with gray hair that was going to win as president, and a darker haired woman. I thought it might be Bloomberg or somebody like that. And then one day the light was on Biden. Something happened where, maybe because he's a good Catholic or whatever, but I saw angelic forms around him, leading him, helping him.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there's a lot of ugly out there that'd like to get rid of Biden and Zelensky.
Oh, yeah. But they're in the light, they're in that light field.
And there's a protection there.
Yeah, absolutely huge.
But even if he was to lose his life, Zelensky, changed the world.
Yeah.
He knew his purpose. He knew he was supposed to do this.
Yeah.
And I just feel like down the road, there'll be statues of him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I saw that too. Mary told me that.
Yeah, there'll be statues of
There's
them,
gonna be
but,
statues
you
and
know,
books or movies or whatever. Yeah,
but it's sort of shameful the way we turned our head towards World War II.
yeah.
I do think that Putin is a pansy, that he's just he threats. He knows better than to hit the nuke button. And even if he did, they'd stop him. But
I see him going smaller and smaller. To me,
smaller and smaller.
I just see him just shrinking. He's just like a dot now to me, compared to the light.
Because even when he kills people, it doesn't take their soul away.
No.
Yeah. But he'll have to pay for every one of those souls.
Yeah.
Did you see? You probably didn't. The Russians are stealing from the, going in shops, taking their computers, and the Ukrainian people are loving it because they can pinpoint where the Russians are.
Oh.
I thought that was so funny.
I love that. I also love the idea. I think it was the grandmothers who were putting some poison in the pies.
No, are you serious? What, you mean they were leaving the pies out?
Leaving the pies out and put poison in them. It's like, well, that's the way they can help.
That is so funny. That is so funny.
Yeah. But so I know we have two world leaders right now, at least. More, probably, I'm sure there's way more, but we know they're in the light, and
they're in the light.
They're going to be okay.
They want the better and betterment. And I also, I see Biden. I don't see Trump doing anything.
Oh no.
He's much ado about nothing, going nowhere.
He's little. He's a dot.
His big thing he was going to do, that what's his face stepped down, Devin Nunes stepped out of, and that's falling. Everything's falling to pieces. They never got any proof beyond a reasonable doubt that the system was rigged. And this Satan, oh my God, he's going up against Disneyland. And I was like, you know what, everybody hold on. It's okay. Let him do what he thinks, big man on campus. He's heading out the door.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't realize he's cutting his nose to spite his face.
No, that's okay. They're laughing in spirit. They're laughing at this. Right. How ridiculous.
But those of us that step up to righteousness and justice, they see that too. And even you guys, those of you at home, even if you just think the thought, try not to get into the anger, you SOB, I hope you burn alive. And, we can't think that way. Just put that peace out there, put that light out there.
Yeah.
And every time that hit goes out, it means something. Trust me. Being angry at Putin and Trump doesn't do anything. The guides and the spirits will work with them. Put the safety and the light around around Zelensky and Biden, and ask that peace comes, and don't let any more people suffer.
Right.
They're hurting children. Let me tell you, that's why I'm really thinking Le Pen is not going to win.
Oh, yeah.
This astrologers are saying, well, it looks like she could win, or it's close. The reason I don't think she can win is right now in Mariupol, there's women and children that the Russians are getting ready to take. And that's not very pretty for France.
No.
France knows what it feels like to be taken over. And she's in the pockets of Putin. They've just showed money she spent from Putin. And also the visual of Putin doing these things to Ukrainian people, that's a turnoff.
Yeah, I agree. I see her being small, getting smaller and smaller. She's not as small as Trump, but I see her getting smaller too. It's just.
No, I do think people aren't happy with Macron. How do you say his name?
Macron, I think.
But I feel like some people, like they'd rather him not be, but they're not going to let her get in.
No.
So the voting is Sunday. I could be wrong.
Oh, it's Sunday. Okay.
But you know what? The thing is if she was to win, she'd pull France out of NATO. She would do all kinds of drama.
Yeah, no.
And he would love it. Putin would love it.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
No. And Mary, Mother Mary, she's very much with the children.
Yes.
Very much. And so she's going to be all around this.
They're taking these children and hurting them. It's just terrible.
Yeah, she's lifting them up. She has a whole team, I believe, that help the children when they cross over.
Okay.
To gather them to bring healing to them.
Yeah.
She's not by herself. She's got A humongous team. I don't even know how big.
Well, that's not, and then, as if you're working on your soul's purpose, now some of us have to make a living. I don't remember, was it Eckhart Tolle? Somebody talked about this. Some people are street sweepers.
Yeah.
But they enjoy it. It's easy. They can phase out if they want to. If you're doing something that's not too bad, some people, they do hard work and not necessarily good pay, but you will be rewarded because you give grace for what you have.
Yes.
In grace, they will come. And every time you say thank you, it's almost like it reverberates. I didn't understand because I hated that. What do you say when you're young? What do you say when they hand you the ice cream? I said, thank you, sucker. But what do you say? So later on, I think Marianne Williamson talked about it, about being in grace for everything. And then Eckhart Tolle talked about it. And as you acknowledge, and I didn't really learn this till later, and you have to mean it when you say it too. You can't just say, well, let me think, okay, I'm grateful I got a roof over my head. You have to say it from the heart.
Yeah.
You're in grace for what you have. Gifts come. Trust me, they come. Vibrationally, you become higher. You attract more. That which is likened to itself is drawn. Like attract like. So as you vibrate higher, more good energy comes to you.
Yes.
Like in my life right now, even with the drama I just went through, it's a long story, but with the drama I just went through, and I need to practice what I preach. I gave it to them. I gave grace for what was happening. And sure enough, they came through. But they coming through faster for me because I've been practicing. Sometimes it takes a while.
Yeah, it does. That's why we call it practice. Every day is a practice. Even sitting in meditation, it's a practice because some days are good, some days aren't so good, but it's never wasted. And I think the intention is the main thing, is the intention.
That's it, girlfriend.
Yeah. And the gratitude, even breathing, I just think of breathing in the idea of letting the gratitude go to every cell of my body, and then it vibrates out or resonates out, I guess. Then I think that's a whole new shift. Just even talking about it brings it out. Anyway, thank you, Linda. I just feel like it's been a pleasure. And thank you for being here. And I just love your picture there, your boyfriend. And so I want a boyfriend just like that.
Well, okay, he came to me when I was 8 years old and he was standing on a cloud in all his glory. And that was some years ago. But he came to me again when I was 33 years old, which is interesting because he died at 33.
Yeah.
And he came to me in a dream, though. It wasn't a vision. But he was laying on a labor and delivery gurney, and I'd open up the labor room, and there he was, dead as a doornail on the gurney. I walked up to him and I thought, and I was scared to death. And I said, oh my God, it's Jesus, and he's dead. I'm too late. I missed him. He's dead. Wow. And he was just, this is what I look like.
Wow.
Same thing. And so I walked out because he wasn't blue-eyed, blonde hair. That was not him. And as I'm leaving out the door, I turned around and I looked at him. I said, and I said it from the bottom of my soul, I love you. I love you, Jesus, more than you know. I love you so much. And as soon as I said that, his head turned towards me. And he said, I love you too. And I woke up.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It was great.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
That's a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Blessings to you, dear.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Yeah, thank you. Bye.